People First podcast is a show presented by people with learning disabilities for our friends and community. We talk about issues that are important to us and interview interesting guests to find out new information. This is our way to make a difference.
Welcome to the People First podcast. This week we are talking to Poppy, who is an artist and illustrator. We really wanted to talk to Poppy to find out about her work and also about some of the projects she's working on. Welcome, Poppy. Thank you for coming. We hope you enjoy the show. What made you decide to become an illustrator?
I loved drawing as a kid. It was a real outlet for me. I just loved having the chance to express myself with the pens and pencils, and I felt very free when I was younger to do artistic work, and it was something that not that it was the only thing that I was good at, but it was the thing I enjoyed most. So I wanted to carry on doing something that I loved. Yeah.
How did you learn to do art? Did you have to study?
Yes. I mean, I don't think you have to study to do art, but I did study to do art. So I did, I went to art school, and then I did a degree in illustration, which is a type of art. But I think every person is an artist, really, because all we want to do is express ourselves. And I think we all have the capacity to express ourselves in a way that's creative. I think that's one of the most important parts of, when I host workshops or teach or anything like that, that we get a chance to express ourselves in a creative way. I sometimes think the word artist can be a bit confusing because you think I have to do this to be an artist, but I just think if you express yourself in a creative way, that's art in my opinion.
Who and what inspires you in your work?
I would say my friends. When my friends make me laugh, I usually write down things that they say, and the way that my friends make me feel, when they, show loving support. I love to make artworks around that. And, music that I love really inspires me, and just documenting feelings, whether that's good feelings, difficult feelings, happy feelings. It's like a way of having a diary, really, for me, creating artworks about how I feel on a certain day, and it often changes, but it's good to capture the moment sometimes. Yeah.
You've worked with some well-known clients. What projects have you worked on with them?
I think I loved working with a brand called Valentino, because they have a younger brand that is called Red Valentino, which has a kind of more kind of teenage audience. We did bags, jackets, t-shirts. So it's amazing to be able to wear your artwork. So I think I made 8 designs for them that they put across a collection. And to celebrate that, we did like an in-store event where I got to wear all the clothes and speak to people, and do like a little live paper cutting workshop in the shop. So it was really fun. It's fun for me to see my work in a slightly different way, because I don't make clothes myself. So to see your drawing on a jacket or embroidered on a t-shirt, for me is like a whole different avenue that the image can go down. So very fun to wear your own work.
We have a kiosk open our office. why is it important that everyone has the opportunity to be creative?
Could you tell us more about your workshops?
Yeah, I think it's really important because part of creativity is another way of speaking, really, and being heard in any way, um, whether it's a complaint, whether it's an idea, um, allowing somebody to listen to you makes us all feel human, really. So for me, creativity is another way of saying, hear me, these are my thoughts, this is how I'm feeling. And it's without always using words, which, it can be a struggle sometimes to find the right words. So if you can draw a picture or do a craft, that means that you can say something about your interests or the world, or tell us a little bit more about you. I think it's an opportunity to be heard. And especially when you're doing it in a group, you can connect with each other and discuss your work and help each other and have that kind of creative connection where it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be marked, it doesn't have to be judged. It's just an opportunity to play around and have some fun. Yeah.
We have a copy of your paper cutouts book in our office. If people want to learn more about your work, or even buy some of your cutouts, how can they do so?
I guess you can find out more about me and stay up to date with my projects through Instagram, which is PoppysPapercuts. The book is a great way if you want to find out more about paper cutting, but I also do lots of other work like still life drawing, collage classes, creativity classes, and basically anything that gives people an access to experiment and permission to play, like mood boarding or other kind of creative access. I just think is, for me, very rewarding, and hopefully for the people that attend, they also have time to not be on their phone, not be working, to relax a little bit and engage with that creative space that feels very accessible when we're younger, and then as we get older it feels a little bit further away. So almost visiting childhood for an hour or two. Yeah.
You are running a virtual event for GriefCase on March 29th. What is GriefCase and why is it so important to talk about grief?
GriefCase is a space that I created to share stories around grief and loss. And I noticed that when after my dad died, that I felt very alone, and reading other people's stories of how they felt, even if it was a totally different loss, let's say if they'd lost a parent or a sibling, just reading their stories, I connected to so much of it, and I started to feel maybe lots of other people are going through this as well. So the workshops that we do at the GriefCase, a lot of them are just listening to people speak. What's your story, and how have you felt with your grief? What's helped? What hasn't helped? And also bringing creativity into grief, I think, is really important as well, because like I said, it's hard to articulate the feeling if it's a new feeling. And sometimes creativity gives us space to just choose a color or choose a shape. And sometimes that can also say a lot. So yeah, workshops are just an opportunity to sit down, meet people, and engage with a part of you that we don't get to use all the time, which is our creative mind. So giving people the chance to do that if it's not their job. Yeah.
What is your favourite part of being an illustrator?
I get to work for myself. I get to be creative. And I love meeting people and leading workshops and thinking, what would I like to make today? So even when I'm working with commercial clients who are like, you need to make this today, there's an idea of how can I make this beautiful? How can I make this look like something I would enjoy making? How can I make this look like I made it? So yeah, even when you're working with people, you can still access that thing that makes your work unique or individual. So yeah, I love making things. So that's a great part of it.
What are your hopes and plans for the future?
Oh, that's a nice question. Nice question. I also want to incorporate a lot of rest into my future because I think working hard is fantastic, but if you're not well, you can't work. So I think taking rest, and also taking care of myself physically, mentally, is going to be really important. So that I can support other people in accessing their grief, in accessing their creativity. You have to look after yourself in order to help other people. So sometimes I always think it's the other way around, that I have to look after other people in order to look after myself. And I'm starting to understand it might be the other way around. So caring for ourselves has to come top priority. Yeah.
That's all we have time for today on the show. Thanks to Poppy for coming on and speaking to us. We hope you enjoyed being on the show and answering our questions. Good luck with GriefCase and the rest of your work. Do you have anything else you would like to add before we sign off?
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.
Remember to like, share and follow the show on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can find us by searching for the People First podcast. Thanks for listening.